of emotion.
Here we go again. Hey guys, hope you are going well. So I am back. This is my third year back again, predicting the Oscars online, on the internet, for all to see my crappy predictions. Nah, I'm just kidding. I have a really great time predicting the Oscars every year. I love getting into it. I find the Oscars season and all the buzz around all the films always really exciting. I know a lot of people have been quite cynical and critical about how the Academy chooses the films, how they vote, whether the films that are actually nominated deserve to, and all the incredible films from the year which have been really sadly left out. But regardless of all that kind of talk, just focusing on the positives, I think it's a really fun time in the movie community in general to just get together and just talk about some really great films. So looking at how I did last year in last year's Oscar ballot, predicting on all 24 categories, I actually did surprisingly quite well. Trust me, it was a complete fluke, but I pretty much picked Mad Max Fury Road for the majority of the categories and somehow ended up picking a total of 18 out of the 24 categories correct. I was totally stoked about that. Do not expect me to replicate that again this year. Nonetheless, let us jump into my predictions for who I think the Academy is going to be voting, winning all 24 categories. I will talk through all of them. If you want to hear what I think about the nominations in a general, more broader sense, I did do a chatty video when the nominations first came out, like my first impressions of what I thought of everybody who was nominated and all that kind of stuff. But for this predictions video, I'm just going to talk through all 24 categories and who I think the Academy is going to choose, and then here and there I'll also throw in who probably more deserves to win and who I personally would like to see win. All right, let's do it. I never know what order to go in with the categories, so I'm going to go off the official Oscar website, and we're going to start with writing, original screenplay. I think Manchester by the Sea is going to win. I actually don't think that Manchester is going to pick up a lot of awards in the end, even though it was nominated in a lot of categories, but I think that in this category it definitely deserves to win. As for Best Adapted Screenplay, I I'm really glad to see Arrival in there. I think that is super cool, but I think Barry Jenkins' Moonlight was a very incredible screenplay. The fact that Moonlight has also been nominated, like Manchester, in so many categories. Is it 9? I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's been nominated heaps across all of the categories, which is so fantastic. And I think this is one where it will actually win for Best Screenplay. Moving on to visual effects. This one is so easy. When I first saw the nominations came out and The Jungle Book was here for Best Visual Effects, I was so excited. Not only was this movie so great, but the fact that it was like 99% filmed in front of a green screen, like in a studio, but the film is like 100% set outdoors in the jungle. It's so cool. Fabulous movie. I really hope it wins. For sound mixing, I think this is going to be La La Land. And get used to me saying that. I feel like I'm gonna pick La La Land a lot, actually. I'm sorry. Sound editing, I am going to pick, I'm gonna pick Hacksaw Ridge. I'm gonna go out on a limb. Like, my gut is just saying go La La Land, but I personally just thought Hacksaw Ridge, the sound editing was so good. Oh, Arrival as well though. No. Oh, wait. No, I'm gonna stick to my gut. I'm just gonna go Hacksaw Ridge. In the short film live action category, unfortunately I haven't seen any of these, so I can only really go off what I've heard and what I've read. And I feel like Silent Nights is gonna take this one. I haven't seen it, but it's an immigrant story, Danish, and I think that, I don't know, I've just heard some things about it. On to short film in the animated section. I have seen, like, Piper, of course, the Pixar film. That is the, you know, safe bet. I've seen Blind Vaisha. That's probably the only other short in this category that I've seen apart from Piper, and it is very unusual. The animation is stunning. I'm just gonna pick it. I'm just gonna do it. Production design, I'm gonna go La La Land. I think that, I mean, a part of me is sort of like, oh, it's anyone's game, but I think La La Land. And then same goes for music, best original song. I know that La La Land is up against itself with the songs Audition and City of Stars. I think City of Stars is gonna take this one. Moving on to music, best original score. I would like to see Moonlight in this, but I think La La Land is going to win in this category. As for makeup and hairstyling, I can't really comment on this one. I don't know really much about it, but I think I'm gonna say Star Trek Beyond. Best foreign language film. This is one of the ones that is like tearing me apart to choose because you know I love foreign films. I'm so excited to see Tanner in this category, the Australian film. I think that that is just so cool. The first time an Australian film has ever been nominated in the foreign language category. So I think that's awesome. I would just be like over the moon excited if that movie was to win. But I'm gonna pick the, oh, I just like, just then was when I was about to say it, I nearly like had a change of heart. I'm gonna choose the Iranian film, The Salesman, and I actually haven't seen it, and I know so many of you guys have told me that I need to see it, and I feel like it's a movie that I'm just going to absolutely fall in love with. I'm so dying to see it, I just haven't been able to get my hands on it, so I'm gonna choose it for this category. Film editing is an interesting one. It's so cool to see Moonlight in here, and Moonlight, sorry, I just want to click on it to get the name right. Joy McMillan, I read that she is the first African-American female ever to be nominated in this category, which is so awesome, like so great to see her nominated. But I'm going to pick La La Land because Tom Cross actually won for Whiplash a couple of years ago in this same category, so I think he's gonna do it again. Gosh, this website's really hard to, where are we up to? Best documentary short. I haven't been able to see any of the shorts in this category, unfortunately, but I've heard things about The White Helmets, which is set in war-torn Syria and about the volunteers helping out there, so I feel like it's a really just strong subject matter and it's very current in the political climate right now. So yeah, let's go with that film, The White Helmets. And into documentary feature, I am going to pick OJ Made in America. Moving into directing, it has to be Damien Chazelle for La La Land. Could it be anyone else? I mean, not saying that the other directors in here, like, all outstanding. How awesome would it see Barry Jenkins deserves it for Moonlight, and I'd also really think that Denis Villeneuve would just totally deserve it for Arrival. And look, Mel Gibson's in here too. It's way too hard. It's too hard, it's too hard. Damien Chazelle, La La Land. And you know what? This year is his year and he's gonna do it and he bloody deserves it. Moving into costume design, usually it's always the period films and the period costuming that, that takes it because of course the period costuming is always so gorgeous and beautiful. But I would love to say Fantastic Beasts, really I would. Colleen Atwood, why does that sound familiar? There you go, Colleen Atwood. This is the 12th Academy Award nomination for Colleen Atwood. She's been nominated so many times. She was recently nominated for Into the Woods, Snow White and the Huntsman, Alice in Wonderland, and on and on and on. So she's been nominated heaps and I think that she would also be a favorite to win this category and she definitely deserves to win, but I'm going to go with La La Land. You might think that I'm just playing it safe and just picking La La Land just to be like err on the side of caution, but I genuinely think that with all 14 nominations that this movie has received this year, I really think it's gonna clean up. And I know that is not always the case. For example, last year The Revenant was nominated for heaps of awards, but then only ended up taking home maybe 3. So just because it's been nominated heaps doesn't mean that La La Land's gonna win everything, but I kind of think that this year might be an exception, and I think it's gonna win everything. Cinematography, and I loved the cinematography for Moonlight, just by the way. I thought that was beautiful, and of all the films nominated, that was probably the most boundary pushing and indicative of the story. But for the sake of this, I'm going to pick La La Land. For Best Animated Feature, I know everybody wants Moana to win so badly, and it would be gorgeous if it did. I personally want the Red Turtle to win. I thought that was just marvelous, but I'm gonna go Zootopia. Moving on to all the acting categories, and for Best Actress in a Supporting Role, it's gonna be Viola Davis for Fences, and then for Best Actor in a Supporting Role, I am gonna go with the masses on this one. Everyone is saying it's going to be Mahershala Ali for Moonlight. For Actress in a Leading Role, I don't have to think twice. Emma Stone for La La Land. Not only does she deserve it, but she also won the SAG Award. Yes, 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 she's definitely going to get it. For Best Actor in a Leading Role, this one I've been like going back and forth up until this very moment, and I still don't know who I'm going to pick. But I'm tossing up. No, I know who I want to win in my heart. In my heart, I want Viggo Mortensen to win because I just personally adore him and love his work. But realistically, I've been tossing up between Denzel Washington for Fences and Casey Affleck for Manchester by the Sea. I'm not really sure. Casey Affleck, Manchester by the Sea. I know there's been some controversy. He had like a sexual harassment scandal not that long ago that's still kind of hanging over his head, but all of that aside, last but not least, we come to the final category of the night. It is the Best Picture category, and let me tell you, I've only just finally, as of a couple of days ago, finished. I have now seen all 9 pictures for this category. Thank goodness. It took me a long time to like get around to like finding them all and watching them all, but I've seen them all now, and I think they're all brilliant in their own right, honestly. I think personally the ones that stood out for me were Hell or High Water was fantastic, but Arrival was a standout for me. But you already know who I'm going to actually pick as part of this predictions list. It's gonna be La La Land. There you have it, guys. They are all my predictions in all 24 categories for the 89th Academy Awards. I really wish that I were able to do a live stream during the awards, sort of like, and documenting like my reactions and what I thought and everything, but unfortunately, because I live on the other side of the planet Earth, when the awards air in the USA, it is a Monday for me, like a Monday, like 1 p.m. So I'm gonna be at work. But you will still find me tweeting and all that kind of fun stuff. Guys, let me know what your predictions are for this year's Oscars. I'd love to know what you think, who you think's gonna take home Best Picture, who you think will take home Best Actor, and of course all the other categories as well. Make sure you let me know in the comments section down below. I will be doing a post-Oscars video and wrapping up how I fared with all my predictions, who I thought was snubbed at the awards, who I thought wore it best at the awards. I'll be talking about all that fun stuff, so make sure you are subscribed to keep up to date with all my Oscar talk, with all my other movie and TV reviews, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.